Hello and welcome to this Applied Ergonomics lecture 19. Just a quick recap of what we did in the last lecture. We talked about the various job evaluation techniques, including paired comparison method, factor comparison method, and then of course point factor method. And then we also discussed about how point factor method is probably the most widely used because of its flexibility and its ability to map jobs with respect to the job environment which is prevailing and develop a wage structure. So, the central question in all these job evaluation mechanisms is what kind of wage structure can be associated with the job structure or the job type. And today we will look at little bit of that wage structure, and then once the wage structure is assigned, the other important question, central question to be addressed is that how you can basically rate somebody in terms of his performance and his ability to comply to the requirements that are listed in the job evaluation mechanism. So, let us look at wage structure, and let us look at some of the important facts about the wage structure. So, typically wage structure is a pay schedule that indicates the wage rates for different job grades in an organization. So, pay schedule may include any wage range within a given job grade, or it may include, let us say, just fixed wages for different jobs in a step manner, or maybe there is an overlap of ranges. So, it really depends on how you categorize a certain job in terms of the various grades, and there is a requirement of giving a wage range in some cases, because certain jobs because obviously organizations become top heavy with time. So, change between different grades may not be almost always possible for all employees, and therefore, if that change can be slowed down a little bit by adjusting an employee to a differential, pay differential in a single grade corresponding to the amount of term that he serves in a particular grade. So, it basically helps you to slow down the rise process and making the organization top heavy in turn. So, those problems can be avoided. So, so establishing the wage structure is a separate step in job evaluation, except only the factor comparison method. I guess this was the only method which I taught where you could actually, in a very objective way, determine a wage structure, although every method has its own shortcomings and limitations. So, if we look at some of the factors which affect such wage structures, so one of course is the slope of the wage structure. So, a slope can also be referred to as the pay differential between the higher and the highest and the lowest job grades. So, once you have categorized all the jobs into different ranking or different ranks, and once you have actually tried to arrange the jobs in different hierarchical, in a hierarchical manner, you could create a pay differential between the highest job grade and the lowest job grade, and that could be looked at by looking at the slope of the wage structure. So, the wage range for each job grade could have either a fixed width of the wage range, okay, or overlapping wage range structure, and this can be graphically illustrated here. For example, if I wanted to look at the slope of the wage structure, you can see jobs between different grades have a steeper slope. If the highest available job has quite a bit of differential than the lowest one, and this gives a sort of an upward trend of motivation of it gives us some kind of a motivation to move upwards in the ladder faster. And so, sometimes when the objective of an organization is to make it performance heavy, towards the beginning there is an idea of making a steep slope would always prevail. There are also certain wage structures with shallow slopes, where the growth may not be that that steep from going between different job grades. And so, one of the reasons why that is done is to sort of maybe give an overall increase in the wage level by looking at creating lesser differential between the highest paid job and the lowest paid job. But then in that kind of an event, although one advantage of this system could be similar kind of performance at each level or different grades of jobs, which would be beneficial to certain organizations which are more intensive in terms of quantum of work to all the levels associated to all the levels. So, if we looked at wage structures, you have again a range defined for each job grade. For example, here you see there is a certain wage range defined for a certain grade, okay, and as the grade varies, the range also varies, and it's very specific as it moves up the ladder, how corresponding to the different job grades, you basically have assigned different wages, okay, corresponding to the wage structure. There could also be a case where you have no wage range in each job grade. For example, it's a single particular wage at a certain grade, and then there is a stepped increase by a certain amount of differential. Although at the higher grade again you have a similar pay structure, there is no movement really in terms of differential structure within the same job grade, and this may cause little bit logistic problem, because sometimes, as I already reported, that organizations become top heavy, and so you have to somehow slow down the rise process and while keeping the motivation level on. And so if you really linked the wage structure as one of the potential causes of motivation to certain organizational traits, it may be a good idea to sort of stall and give some motivation at a certain level rather than doing a fixed wage structure at one particular level. There may be also certain organizations with overlapping wage ranges. So, you can see here, for example, there is a certain range at certain grade which has a substantial amount of overlap with the next grade, and such structures also are sometimes important, because the moment we give a range which is overlapping nature, the performance level, the motivation level at, let us say, a lower grade is almost equal to that of the higher grade the moment it crosses over here. And it may also be sort of a good practice to estimate who is qualified to really go into the next grade. So, such structures also do work at different times within industrial setups. Let us now talk a little bit about a different concept altogether, which is about, once you have fixed the different job grades and you have associated wages with respect to the different job grades, the next question which comes is that whosoever is performing in the particular grade, how he be rated or how his performance can be appraised. And so, let us talk about performance appraisal. So, again the process of performance appraisal is really a process by which each employee is periodically evaluated, and this evaluation is in relation to his or her accomplishments and contributions to the overall goals and directions that an organization takes. Appraisals can be done very formally or informally, depending on what is the prevailing strategic initiative to keep people generally motivated and happy. So, formal performance appraisals are preferred though by most medium and large organizations, more or less because of the reason that it gives an accountability from the management side also to to be more deterministic on reasons about why a raise is given as opposed to the other. And formal processes can include both documented reports or face to face interviews, where there can be some degree of judgment by a higher authority to a reporting individual or a lower subordinate, and this can be beneficial to both the employee as well as employer, because if objectively done, the employee knows about his shortcomings so that he can improve according to the organization's goals, and the employer again gets a lot of know-how about what are the strengths within the employee which could be augmented and motivated in a manner so that he can go up the ladder. So, in an idealistic sense, all this works very well if we talk about performance appraisals. So, there are various reasons why performance appraisals are needed. Some of the main reasons are to provide sort of a feedback to an employee on his work performance and motivating him sufficiently so that he can perform better. Also, sometimes there is a lack of knowledge. A lot of ignorant employees exist who do not know about really the overall organizational goals or organizational achievements or capabilities, and so this kind of establishes links. Such appraisal systems do from time to time establish a good link between goals of the organization and goals of an employee, so that if such a match occurs, then obviously the employee can work for his own goals, to go up the ladder, to get more benefits, and in the process can serve in meeting up the expectations of the organizations or goals set up by the organization. So, it is a win-win situation in such a case. Also, one of the main reasons could be determining merit pay increases when we talk about many people performing on certain job, and obviously there is a differential in performance. So, that needs to be updated regularly in records for record sake, and also that needs to be fed back to the concerned employees, so that they know about what is the highest performer level and try to balance their ways and means, so that they can also achieve the same. So, in a way you are positively helping people with positive minds to grow, which is in a way very good for overall organizational growth. So, therefore, this merit pay increases could be one of the main reasons why performance appraisal is needed. Also, one can indicate skill deficiencies and training needs. Supposing person while doing evaluation finds out that the subordinate is not trained properly on a system or a project or a work that has been given. So, there can always be a possibility of sending people for training, external training, so that they can get more upbeat about handling the situation, about performance, about deliveries. Also, one of the reasons for performance appraisal could be to identify workers who need counseling. There are some workers who will create problems, create troubles for overall growth of the organization, and such workers need to be identified. And supposing some workers are already identified, performance appraisal could be a good way for sending them from counseling training or giving them some directives which could help them to mend their ways, so that they can achieve better. So, performance appraisal can also be used for identifying poor performance who should be laid off, particularly when there is a challenging business environment, layoffs become necessary. In those kind of situations, it is important that you identify and get rid of those people who are non-value adding, who are liabilities to a concern. Of course, there is something called a settlement which happens between a employee and a employer, and that is governed by some legal norms which have been set up by various agencies. But then layoffs are necessary from time to time for restructuring and fueling the growth process to survive in the competitive business environment. You also identify very poor performers who should be and necessarily be terminated, and so these are the people who are sort of in the red zone, who have to be asked to leave. And particularly organizations which are very heavy and they grow with time, and then there is no control on the hiring or the inducting of employees, they need to identify people who are non-performers and try to make a lighter organization. Okay. So, therefore, performance appraisal, as we all agree, are very necessary. If you look at some of the techniques associated in the performance appraisal, there could be very objective checklists. This could be a technique involving method where an evaluator checks from a list of performance attributes whether the employee complies to some of these attributes. I will give an example just about 1 or 2 slides later. There are also graphical rating scales, which are linear scales starting from the low performance parameter or index to the highest performance index. Okay, and this is done for each of the performance attributes, so that there is an idea of where the employee falls and what are his traits, what are his weaknesses, what are his strength areas, so on and so forth. There is also a very simple ranking scheme which is done typically by a supervisory authority which ranks subordinates based on the yearly performance. So, here there can be scope of error because there is a judgment and a personal influence which gets dominating as far as the supervisory level staff is concerned, and so one must try to stick to very objective ways and means to rank subordinates. Just by intuition one can't rank unless all the facts are laid before. So, it is a very serious job that has to be done by people up the ladder, okay, for their subordinates. Also, sometimes companies do prefer to write for the people to write essays about their achievements or highlights of the year that person has done, on the basis of which one could give an assessment. So, this is a written paragraph on worker's performance. So, this can be first done by the worker himself and then validated, and some comments can be given by the supervisor about what is true and how much of it is true, and that could be a basis of appraising about the annual performance of a certain worker. Let us look at some excerpts from different appraisal methods. Let us look, for example, about the checklists I was talking. So, checklists are used to document a given performance attribute in a performance appraisal system. This is one such checklist, particularly one performance parameter, which is the quantity of work. So, quantity of work is graded in terms of volume of work regularly produced, the speed at which the work is done, the consistency of the output. So, these are the sub factors associated with this factor, quantity of work. And when we are trying to rate an individual, we can make various degrees or slabs over which the individual can be put, starting from almost always exceeds the standards, exceptionally productive, to almost never meets standard output. So, this is the highest grade, and this right here is the lowest grade. And so, between these there are a variety of different grades in which one can rate the performance attribute of a person, including regularly produces more than required. There is one grade which says volume of work is satisfactory, equals job standards, quite often does not meet standards, that is another grade, and then finally the lowest grade of almost never meets the standards. So, the idea is that such a performance attribute could be graded by rating any one of these attributes based on the intuitive judgment that an authority or a supervisor would have to rate his employees. Then there are again, other appraisal methods like graphical rating scales, which is again listed for the same parametrics as before, just as in a checklist mode you saw, in a little different manner. So, you have a scale now usually exceeds the standard quantum of work, which is probably the highest grade, and then rarely meets standards, and there is a graphic scale which gives an idea of where you should put the concerned employee, either on the exact grades or degrees which are being shown here, or in between. So, you have a little more flexibility to rate an employee based on such attributes in a linear manner in a scaled system. Okay. So, this is another way using a graphical rating scheme. Generally, the modern trends which are involved in performance appraisal are related to, number one, the alignment of the performance to particularly strategic objectives of the organization. The organizations do not just want to grow, but grow in a productive manner and grow in a manner where there is an employee involvement at every stage. So, at one hand, when employee is involved, the appraisal has to be done in a manner so that it is always motivating in nature. It should not be able to demotivate or take somebody out of the fast track process if you really want to strategically grow in the right manner. Also, just because of the intuition or the judgment component which is involved between a authority and a reporting subordinate, there is always a chance of error, and so it may be a good idea to include multiple evaluations, multiple evaluators. It could be a self evaluation done by the employee, and then the evaluation of supervisors by the subordinates. So, it kind of keeps you going on how good or how bad the concerned people involved in the ladder are. So, you can give feedback at the right extent, at the right level, so that overall there is a meeting of the goals or growth process of the organization. So, a lot of trend within the performance appraisal system really pays a lot of attention to future development of the employee rather than his past performance. So, rather than looking at how he performed 2 years back or how he performed even on the current year towards the beginning, it may be a wonderful idea to look at the current performance or how he will perform in the future. And so, the growth in his performance output is what is important, rather than looking at where he was or what level he was. Of course, while doing a job evaluation, you do consider very basic minimum skill sets which are needed to map individuals to certain job grades, but in the appraisal stage you always look for not the basic amount of qualifications or past achievements, but the current behavior in respect to a job description of a certain employee. So, these are some latest trends. I think I will now like to sort of close this particular topic on job description, job evaluation, wage structuring of jobs, and then performance appraisals. At the end of this lecture, I would like to strongly emphasize that modern organizations are really spending a lot of resources in order to structure the organizations with objectives in mind, goals in mind, and they are also very particular about some of these issues related to how you grade jobs, evaluate jobs, create a different wage structure related to the jobs, and then finally create a motivating environment for everybody to work towards the organization goals. So, it is in fact become a very, very important topic as far as the organizational ergonomics goes, and with this I would like to end this particular lecture. Thank you very much.